Hi, hello. I hope we get it right this time. It will be worth your while. Yeah, so one viewer has joined in. Thank you so much. Thank you for understanding with me that I would not take your time for granted and that this is not intentional. Welcome to this webinar titled Developing a Winning Marketing Strategy for Your Business. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you so much. This means a lot to me. You coming back on after 47 minutes means a whole lot to me. I'm truly sorry about the initial hiccups, but hey, we're here, and that's what's important. How is your day going today? And how is business? The first thing I would like to say is that marketing is very different from sales. And I have with me here today Mr. Ayo Edgar to take us through the rudiments of developing a winning sales marketing strategy. I will hand this over to him right now to share his presentation and his screen. Thank you.
Good evening once again. We are very sorry for the technical hiccup, and we'll just make this as brief and as concise as possible. Hopefully, definitely to be definitely worth your while. Yes. Kindly just hold on as we. So my name is Ayo Edgar. I would like to share with you concerning how to build your business and the right marketing and sales strategy to build your business and move it forward. Okay. Hold on, please. So yes, before we'll sort the presentation out, what we're trying to do is we look at models and things that will probably definitely move your business forward. Before I say anything, I want to talk about a line that you've heard before. The normal thing we've heard is to err is human. And that means to make mistakes is human. That means people make mistakes. But there's a book out there called To Sell is Human. And I don't know whether many of us have read that book before. Basically, what it just tells us that we are always selling. Every time of our life, we are always selling. And whether you are a young graduate and preparing for an interview, whether you've been working, you've been in this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes. So talking about to sell is human. We know that if you're going for any business meeting or you're going for an interview, you need to prepare for the interview. You need to market yourself. You need to sell yourself. You need to stand out from the crowd. How do you do that? You dress well, you speak well, you do your homework very well. And that is a normal human nature. If you're selling, the woman selling okpa or selling puff puff, how do, in the line of people, other people selling the same product, how does she differentiate herself? There's a woman here in Abuja that I understand that she puts an egg in her own okpa. That's a differentiator for her. And she's known for that. I don't even take it, but I know there's someone like that. So to sell is human. It's human nature to stand out. It's human nature to be different, to excel amongst your peers. So that's why it is normal for us. I've heard people say, oh no, I can't sell. I don't know how to beg people for this or for that. But it is part of us. It's part of our daily lives. Our children do that to get favors from us. We do that to get favors from our bosses. So that mainly, so we need to put it out of our mindset that we do not like selling. So moving forward, I'm going to talk about sales versus marketing. Later, we'll still be talking how marketing enables sales and how it develops sales into whether it is a success or a failure. Marketing is finding out what people want, why they want it, and how much they will spend. And I've put it out there that don't confuse marketing with advertising. You know, marketing goes way beyond adverts. You need to be able to, it's science. Marketing is science. You need to know the people you are going to sell to. You need to know the problem that is. That is one thing people don't know. Selling a successful product or service is often a solution to a problem. That's why most people fail when they start their businesses. They just want to do it because, oh, Mrs. A or Mr. B is doing this and is making it. I want to make it as well. So I'll go and sell the same thing. But they'll come back and I'll like, I don't understand. I'm doing the same thing he's doing, but I don't know he's making more than I'm making. So what differentiates you from the other person? So you need to find out what people want, why they want it, and how much they will spend for that product or service. Advertising the promotion of a service or product of a company. You see billboard, the MTNs, the Glows, the Airtels, you know, even Airtel and Glow, they're churning out good adverts right now. But does it really mean that we're going to buy the product? Adverts, they aid the marketing of that product. You wouldn't know whether Airtel is doing what's it called now, the data, the unlimited data, if not for the adverts. They could put it in another place where you would not know, but maybe you are seeing the adverts on TV, it pops on your Facebook page, or it pops up on your Twitter feed, but you know that there's something. That is what the advert is for. And mainly, sales is activity related to selling. Selling is the final stage in marketing. You can spend billions of dollars, you can spend billions of naira. If you, on marketing, if you do not sell, your whole point is fruitless. And that is what it's all about. How do we do from adverts to marketing to now selling? So marketing and lead generation, you need to generate a lead for your product. Unfortunately, I can't get feedback on, I would have loved to know what each and every one of us is doing, but there is, you could always give feedbacks to Ijoma through email, so we could always respond to that. The value proposition of your product. What benefits are you selling? Nobody will buy just anything. I wouldn't buy anything, and I'm sure you would just buy anything. Why so? Okay, let's say in Lagos, or typically in, let's say Lagos, let's give Lagos as an example. The gala seller over there, why is he selling gala? The gala seller on the road, why is he selling gala? Because he knows that there's somebody that is tired, closing from work after 5 p.m. And he knows that the person is not going to get home in the next 3 or 4 hours, probably hungry. So he needs gala. Gala is on the go. doesn't spill, doesn't stain your shirt or your blouse or whatever, or your jacket, and is there, ready for you, waiting for you, and they will always buy. The yogurt seller is there, they will always buy. You need to identify your target market and your buyer. You need to be able to know who your buyer is. If you are in, how would I put it now? You are in Iceland or you're in Canada where it's cold and you're selling ice cream, yes, you can sell ice cream over there as well. But on a very snowy day and you're selling ice cream, I don't think you'll be able to sell as much as somebody, selling a hot cup of coffee or tea. And you need to quantify the benefit. That is where most of us make the mistakes. You need to be able to quantify it, make it into money, or else you are just being an NGO. And what's your selling mode? Is it going to be a direct sale? Are you going to do you require a sales team going out there? Do you need, is it going to be a huge business that you need, you need the likes of social media to be able to reach out to your target market? And what's your market differentiator? One of my former bosses, and as we all know now, what's your USP, your unique selling point? What differentiates you from your competition? You need to be able to know your competition. Before now, most of us bought our SIM cards at 30-something thousand. We were doing 50 naira per minute on. Sorry, I'll always go back to the telcos. Then you'll be looking at your phone, and you'll be looking at the time on the phone as you're making a call. As it's 59 seconds, you cut it off, just for you not to go to the next minute. As people say that, making a good job the next minute. You need to be able to know that what is my market differentiator. Glo came with per second billing. Everybody moved to Glo. They changed the whole story. What are you selling them? I'm sure it's very likely that you're selling a product that has been or is being sold right now. But what makes you different from Mr. A or Mrs. C? Generate an awareness and create demand. Yes, this sounds simple, like, oh, okay, I know this, I take this. But at the end of the day, it's like science. Selling is science. Once you've done this, it generates the demand. And once you have demand, close the deals and make money. Defining your target. Where do your benefits best match up? It still goes to the same thing. Where is your target market? You need to know where your target is. The vertical versus horizontal sales market. The vertical market has to do with being like a market composing all the potential purchases in an industry, in a purchasable industry. And the other one, which is the horizontal market, is here vendors in this market, they offer a broad range of goods and service to a large number of customers. Let me give you an example. Let me give you Microsoft. Microsoft is most likely you're using Microsoft on your laptop or whatever, or any Windows you're using. Microsoft is out there selling software. But now the same software, there is an accounting software. There's a software for hotels, and everybody's selling the software. Let me give you another example. Toothpaste. We brought out Maclean's, Close Up, Pepsodent back in the day. Then Dabur came in. They said they were selling herbal, But Dabur is still in the market. Now you find it, if you go out there now, you see Close Up Herbal, you see Pepsodent Herbal, you see Maclean Herbal. So you need to know who your target market is. Leverage knowledge and success to own your market segment. You need to know. You need to do your homework. You cannot just go into the market, as I've said earlier, because your neighbor or your friend or your family is doing it. Even if somebody is handing over a business to you, you need to know what the business is about. The business could be successful, but if you do not know what you're doing, you could ruin that a multi-million-dollar business within seconds. And also knowing your target You need to know who your DM is, your decision maker, your influencer, and the user. Are you in a complex? Are you selling something so complex that you need to know who the user is, who will influence the decision of the person and the decision maker of on the whole deal? Now, let me give you an example. I've worked in the IT industry for a while, and there's always a user of that product. Maybe it's a software, or maybe it's a huge server, or something that will, or a banking software. There's always a user. Maybe that's the teller or the end user. But that's not the person that will make. The person might know that, oh yes, this is important for my company, for our company. But that's not the person that's going to make the decisions. And there's the influencer, the person that has the ear of the decision maker. That could be the chief financial officer that will say, okay, yes, we do not have a budget for this, but this is very important, so we can actually put it in pipeline. And of course, the decision maker, all well and good if the decision maker is your user and your influencer. Because if the person that is going to write you the check, or the person that is going to open that business for you, is the person, is the person that is going to be using that product or the service, is all well and good for you. Once you're able to convince that person, you're good to go. Now, with the first or second slide, I did sales versus marketing. Now, this is sales and marketing. You need to know that they both work hand in hand for a successful business growth. This is where you're going to be different from somebody in Alaba or Wuse Market that is just there hoping somebody comes. Even those guys, they've gone beyond that. They come out of their shops and they stand out. They send all of their boys or girls out there. They say, Oga, madam, do you need this? Do you need material? Do you need cotton material? Do you need, I'll take you. Then you start following them. By the time you find out, you could walk 10 minutes within the market to get to what you need. That is, they are marketing their product. Marketing to support sales is very important, because there's no way you will have a successful business right now without knowing what to do or how to do it. Web, Ijoma has reached you via emails right now, and that's using the internet. A lot of businesses are being sold on the web. MTN has a product right now that enables, I'm sure you lot have seen the ad, that enables people to advertise their product as little as, I don't know, I'm not giving them PR right now, which takes me to the second one, PR. The example I just gave right now of a sales girl or sales guy out there in the market telling you that we can do this, we have this material, and taking you 5 minutes or 10 minutes walk into their shop is part of PR. We need somebody out there to be able to proclaim, carry that horn and shout, yes, we can do this. Social media. If I was giving this presentation 10 years ago, definitely this will not be part of it. But social media is now part of us. It has come to stay. We have our parents, we have our aunties, our mothers, we have our children, we have everybody on Facebook. You have everybody on at least Facebook. There are billions of people on Facebook. That is where you can start selling your product. I know a lot of people that sell things from their homes on Instagram. Traditional media. Yes, we still have to, some people still rely on the good old newspaper, on the good old TV, radio. The radio program, and then you need to know which radio programs or which TV programs generate enough traffic. You can't just say, oh, okay, I'm just going to put it on anywhere. You can't be selling a breakfast product and put it on 11 p.m. because it's cheap. Then, of course, the flyers, presentation, brochures, company profile. You come out of your church, you find flyers of different products on your car. There's somebody marketing a product. And by the time you look at it like, oh, maybe I need this. Because then there's businesses you can have that you have knowing a good sales lead. You could have that connection in quotes. And you need to be able to identify a good or a bad sales lead. Why are you able to, you should be able to differentiate this is because of the fact that a bad sales lead will waste your money your time, and your energy. Imagine I have a lead, I'm in Abuja right now, and I have a lead in Lagos, and I did not do my homework well. Because of that, I take the next flight to Lagos. I don't have a house in Lagos, I stay in a hotel. The amount spent, the time spent is probably will take a while for me to recoup on that. And lastly on this, you need to be able to measure your activities. There's something called a sales plan. Subsequent lectures, I'll be able to take you on that. You need a sales plan, and that's big, how you're able to measure your activities. You need to know that, okay, I visited somebody on the 12th of August, I visited that person on the 13th of August, I visited this person on the 14th, on the person on the 15th. I made, in 1 week, I have a target of seeing 10 people. I was able to do 10 people. Out of that 10, how many leads did it generate? Did it generate 5 leads? Did it generate 2? Did it generate 1? I need to be able to put it down. If out of the 10, I did not generate a lead, I do the same thing the following, did not generate a lead, then measuring my activity rule should tell me that I should be able to double that. Let me make 20. Maybe out of the 20, I'm able to generate 1 lead. Out of that, I'm able to now have a systematic activity to my selling. From there, I'll be able to know that, okay, I am selling or I am on the right path or not. Sales tactics. What is your sales tactics? You need to be able to do a proper research of your prospect. You need to be able to do, right now, it's even easier now. Google is there. You could always say, there's this adage of Google it. If you don't know anything, Google it. You can't go for an interview without Googling the person you are going to see. You can't go have a business meeting without checking the person out on Google. Even on social media, everything is on Google. Now, if I'm going to have a huge business prospect and I'm going to see this person that is the decision maker, maybe he's a Manchester United fan, and I go there with the lapel of Arsenal, and maybe a day before, Arsenal are just beating Manchester United, and he sees that, and you don't know how biased he is to his club, your business could have been killed at that point in time. So you need to be able to do a proper research of your sales prospect. Know your social media. Social media is part of what it has come to stay. Targeted emails, generate emails as you are collecting your cards, collecting phone numbers. You know, there's this ideology about, yes, you could talk to people via WhatsApp. A lot of people still believe that you're entering their private space with WhatsApp from random people. Do targeted emails. It's more business-like. You know, I'm not totally condemning WhatsApp, but targeted emails still gives that business approach. If possible, don't do a Gmail. Try and get, your name at yourbusinessname.com. Cold calling. Cold calling is you just going to business. Oh, you're seeing that this is your prospect. Or this place will probably need your product or your service. And I knock. My name is Ayo. This is what I do. I can do this. A lot of people have knocked on my door. Oh, okay, I can see you have this garden. I am a gardener. I can do this. I can do that. I can do that. You know, you see some people usually they say, gone are the days they will say, wash me. They'll put wash me, on your dirty car. Now you come out of a meeting or come out of church, you see somebody has washed your car. And of course you will not go there without not, paying something. That's a bit of digression, but cold calling is just going out there with hope and faith that yes, I can close this business deal. You need a sales funnel. Let me just put you through this diagram. All your leads go into this funnel. Your awareness, your education, and the engagement. As you see from this funnel, it is narrowing down. From your leads, as I said earlier, you could have 100 leads. And out of those 100, it could be 1. And that one, you need to harness it. Can you say that there is like a with an arrow that goes back up. It goes back to the engagement and to the education. You need to re-educate. If you are selling a product that needs to be like a run rate business, you need to be able to hold your custom clients and take them over and over and over again. So define your path to sales success. Your meeting sales plans or sales account plans, you need to develop that. Subsequent ones are will be able to take you on how to develop a good sales account plan. Activity target, you need to be able to have an activity target. And how to handle no, let me briefly talk about that. We go into meetings or sales meetings or business meetings, we make a good sales pitch, and the client just comes up. Oh man, I love your product, I love this, but I'm sorry, we can't do this. How to handle no is you saying, why would I'm going for this business, or I'm going to make this cold call? Why will this person not buy from me? Is it because of money? So you'll be able to have a counter when he says that, I'm sorry, I like your product, but we will not be able to buy this product. Or is it because of the fact that, oh, we have not tested it? Oh, sorry, this is a new product. We don't know how good it is. You should be able to say, okay, if this person gives this excuse, am I able to say, please try this? Should be able to handle your no. It's most likely for you to get a no for an answer, but you should be able to handle it. So be prepared for a no. Sales forecast, your bottom up versus top down approach. Is your product or your service, do you need it from a bottom up? That means from the in an organization, you have like maybe the employee, are you selling through your employees up to the, in quote, or guy at the top that would sign off on this, the decision maker? Or your approach, is it from the decision maker that will trickle down to the user? You need to be able to know that you have to be consistent. Be consistent. Be consistent. I'll say that again. Be consistent. There is, and this goes back to the notes. Do not relent. What's it called now? Multi-level marketing. A lot of us have either done it or are doing it right now. It's part of it. You will see that person like, oh, do you know about this? Do you know about that? Do you know about this? And be consistent. Be consistent. Identify your specific opportunities. Always know when there's an opportunity. Be prepared. There are people in your church or your mosque or your salon. Be prepared. When you see an opportunity, take it and seize it. Next step should be defined. Know that if I'm able to do this at this point, what is the next step from here? You know that, okay, I'm able to talk to this person. He says, okay, oh, I'm interested. Then you're now like, okay, you don't know what to do. You should be able to know that from here to here to here, I should be able to know my next step. If available, hold your sales rep accountable. I don't know the kind of businesses you do, but if you have sales reps there, do not do it for the fun of it. I always tell people, if you're going to employ anybody that is part of your family, sales is the last place you should put family, because you'll be able to shout on that person. And if need be, you'll be able to fire that person at ease. It is not personal, it is business. If that person stays and your business is suffering, you're going to go poor. And lastly, you need to follow. You need to follow up. Your sales team, if you have a sales team, you need to define their roles. You need to support them, and you need to be able to. You need to be accessible. You are the top of the game. You are meant to be on top of your game, and you should be able to communicate with them. Are they going to have one-on-one sales with your clients? Are they going to go as a team? I've worked in places where we always advise going to. Why? When we go into, sometimes when the guy says no, or when you get to a stumbling block, your partner should be able to pick up on that and have frequent team meetings, sales team meetings. You need to be able to share experiences and know the experiences. And back to sales plan. You need a sales plan this is a short presentation, so we'll be able to go on this fully, but you need a concise sales plan. And with that, that is the end of the presentation. I would have loved questions, but unfortunately, we won't be able to do that right now. Thank you for your time, and I'm glad you were able to log in. Thank you very much.
Okay, so hope you had a pen and a paper. I would like you to send me email on what you learned or what you picked or what point you would like to be elaborated on. So he talked about sales. For me, I talk on marketing. That's something that I understand. And when he said that marketing and sales goes hand in hand, you can't sell if you haven't marketed. And so that brings us, he's talked about sales strategy, the sales plan, the things that you have to have in place, the sales tactics, you know, and all of that. But in the few minutes that I have with you, I will just share briefly on building a marketing strategy. So I wrote this book, you know, I'll talk about my book. So I wrote this book, and in less than a week of the book being available, I sold about half of what I printed. Now, what was the strategy? You are in business to make sales. You are in business to get someone to buy your product or your service. If no one is buying your product or your service, you're about to go bankrupt. So what is marketing about? Marketing is about people, targeting, and positioning. So the sales is the people part of the marketing strategy. So when he was talking about the decision maker, the influencer, the gatekeepers, all of those things are things that you should know in your business concerning your product or your service. That's what marketing is about. If your marketing is talking just about your product, then that's not a marketing strategy. Marketing is about managing perceived value. So it's about perception. Marketing is about brand building. It's something that you're looking at who really is your customer. When I wrote the book, I had to say to myself, who is my customer for this book? My customer for this book is an aspiring entrepreneur who thinks that his or her idea doesn't exactly hold water or make sense. The book is for a young school leaver, so you're just graduating from school. I had to answer all of these questions at the point of writing the book. It makes market entry easier, and it makes it look like a walkover. So I know that I had sent a mail and said, bring a pen and a paper. So the first question I would like you to answer, the first question I'll be asking you right now would be, what, I wrote it down so that I don't forget it. What do my customers want from my product or service? Now, this is not talking about you. It's not talking about what you want them to get out of your product or service. The question again is this: what do my customers, so what do your customers want from your product or service? In the case of the book, I said that my customers want inspiration. My customers want to know that their idea is viable. My customers for the book want to know that their idea will work. So I put that into consideration even in writing the book. The next question is, am I targeting? Don't forget that I said that in building a marketing strategy, marketing is about people, it's about targeting, and it's about positioning. So maybe we can say PTP. People, target, position. People, target, position. So are you targeting the right customers? He gave the example of you being in Iceland and selling ice cream. Who really is your customer? Where would you find this customer? Where is the best place that they would be per time? He also talked about the unique benefit. So the marketing team gives the sales team. Do you understand? So this is the funnel. The marketing team or the marketing strategy feeds the sales strategy what to use. Your marketing strategy looks at your unique selling point, your unique selling proposition, the unique benefit of your product. Of course, you know I sell pap as well. So when I was thinking of my pap, I had to think, what do my customers want from my product? What I believe, the answer that I put down, and from feedbacks, because I had to ask. So I did a market research. I did a cheap market research. All I did was call up the people who were buying. So even as an existing business person, you are constantly reviewing your marketing strategy because people's needs, your customers' needs are changing by the minute. So why they bought from you from the first time may just be that, oh, they like your face, or they think that your product is novel, or they want to see what you're about. But why would they constantly buy your product again? That's where the marketing strategy comes in. So I answered the question that my customers want hygiene and convenience. Because my customers want hygiene and convenience, the sealing film that I use on my product became a necessity. Even though during the recession, it became our most expensive component. But I couldn't toy with that because I knew that that's why my customers would want to buy Bube's pap. So what do your customers want from your product or your service? So my book, he talked about the sales funnel. So you have leads, and then you begin to go through engagement and go through all of that. So right now, you're viewing this broadcast live, but I reached you using social media. Then I segmented you, if you remember. You had to sign a form so that the people who are not interested in this don't get bothered with the unnecessary information. So you can see what happened. The first hitch did not discourage you. The second hitch did not discourage you from coming back because you want this service. You want this free webinar. So imagine that I had done this webinar for people who did not care. Nobody will be here at this third attempt. That's what it means to have the right marketing strategy and the sales strategy and begin to funnel it down. So the book, the marketing strategy I used for the book, I looked at my larger audience. They want inspiration. They were interested in the book, but how do I reach them? That's marketing. Because in your marketing, part of the mistakes that small businesses make in developing a marketing strategy is, number one, not targeting their efforts. And that's the example that I used. Not targeting their efforts to specific customers. Do you see? I used that for the free webinar. In my mailing list, I have 1,024 people, but I had to be specific. I had to ask, how many of you are interested in a free webinar that will hold on XYZ date? You showed interest and you signed up the form. So from 1,024 people, 117 signed up for this webinar, got information on this webinar. So I was now talking to my specific customers. So that's one of the mistakes that small businesses do. You're not targeting your specific customer. So it goes back. What does my customer want from my product? Who is my customer? when to answer the question who your customer is as easy as it looks. You need to begin to look at the DMUs, which is the decision-making unit, the influencers and all of that. So for my part, it will shock you that my actual customer is the child. My customer is not the working woman. My customer is the child in the family. And that also informed the decision to make this pretty colorful, so that a child will see this in a store. It looks like an ice cream tub, and the child will say, I want this. So, but the way to get to the child, who really is my customer, is the mother. So if the mother now says, I'm not going to buy, then the mother doesn't buy. But the actual customer for Bube's Pap is the child. That's why it was made colorful. Now, the actual customer for my book is someone who wants inspiration, someone who needs encouragement, someone who is almost at the verge of giving up. So if you're at the verge of giving up, you don't want to be reading a 200-page book. You want easy points. That is what informed the decision to make the book pocket size and very few pages. So if you're really very serious to read this book of 86 pages, you would finish in 2 hours maximum. So I've had people, my specific customer, don't forget. So my specific customers have given me review and feedbacks of how they've read the book 4 times because it's easy to read. So it also, even the typeface, the fonts that I used, I don't know if you can see this. So, but even the font was taking into consideration the fact that you are at a place where you need the next inspiration. You want to know that you can do this. You want to know that your dream is really your seed. You don't want to hold a big book. So you want to be able, people are asking for the e-copy. The e-copy will come. But because I want people to read the book, jot points, throw it in their bag, carry it around. It's easy to hold, unlike a bigger book, or like a 200-page book. If this was a 200-page book, even at the same price, it's possible that you would buy. It's possible that after the first 2 pages, you lose interest. So marketing, remember what we said, developing a good marketing strategy, PTP, people, targeting, positioning. So before marketing the book, I had positioned myself as the person who sells inspiration and sells encouragement to aspiring entrepreneurs. Now, the strategy is also found on my Instagram handle bio, and my Instagram handle is @wanyakamu. I've had to change my bio over the times. I change it, not every month, but I look at it and I'm saying, does this market who I really am? Initially, when all that people knew about me was as the pap seller, my name on Instagram was still Wanyakamu, has always been Wanyakamu. But then I don't know what it's called, but so if it's a book, it will be the subtitle. So my subtitle was Iyao Logi. So basically it was saying the same thing, the pap seller. But when I started to sell inspiration, when I started to sell encouragement, I had to change and switch. You need to understand why people are coming to you. I can give you an analogy, and this analogy is very vague and very it's fiction. Somebody can be buying, so my pap, for example, and I will think that, oh, do you know that in the Southeast, the pap is selling? Only for you to find out that people are not even drinking the pap. It's possible that they are using it to wash their hair. It's possible that they find out that if they put it in their hair, it grows their hair. That's what we mean by positioning. Understand why your customer is buying your product. Understand what they are using it for and position rightly. It's possible that if you're a yogurt seller, you're thinking that, oh, people are buying because of the nutritional content. It's possible that not. Find out the real reason why the customer is buying. Marketing is about the customer, not about you. Then the right positioning. So you can't be everything to everyone. And that's why we talk about specificity. As much as I have 1,024 people in my mailing list, 1,024 people did not need to know about developing a marketing strategy. So there was no way I was going to be talking to them. But I'm talking to you right now in this live broadcast. I'm going to share the link so there will be a replay for people who want to find out these things. So marketing doesn't happen in a vacuum. You need to ask questions. Remember my first question. What do my customers want for my product or service? I wrote it down on a paper, so that I don't lose my line of thought. Am I targeting the right customers? What is the unique benefit of my product? So when you talk about marketing, there is first a strategy before the tactics. There is first a strategy. I haven't paid any advertising fee, yet I'm ready to reprint my book. Because I believe that I found the right customers, I did the right positioning, then I targeted the right customers. Marketing is first about strategy, then tactics. So I had my strategy in terms of PTP, people, targeting, and positioning. I had this strategy in place, then I now developed a tactic. What's the tactics? The tactic now had to do with, rather than wait for a single individual to come and buy one book, I found a way to get resellers for my book. So the people who are interested in the cities where I can't reach, I made them an offer. It has to be a win-win. So the unique selling point, I have two unique selling points now. One for my direct user, which Mr. Ayo had talked about when he was discussing sales strategy. I had the marketing strategy, right? Which includes the reviews that I post on social media, which includes the short videos, which includes, the little messages that I put out here and there. That is directed to my end user. But the strategy and tactic I use, for my reseller is different. If you're in business to make money. So I had to position profit and visibility. So to my end user, I'm selling inspiration. Now I also put it at the top of the book. #1 business inspirational book. And I made sure that the quality of the pocket book, that I respected the value that I wanted them to pay as a price. So I did the best quality that I could lay my hands on. So yes, it's a pocket-sized book, but it's something you want to hold. It's something you want to be seen with. It's something you want to be associated with because of the good quality. But for my resellers, the positioning is profit and visibility. So it means that if you're a reseller for my book, you make a certain amount as profit, and then you get the visibility of me putting it up on my page or sharing it. And by the way, I have 13,500 followers on Instagram. It means that these people are seeing they may not be all active, but at least I can guarantee you that at the very minimum, 5,000 people are active out of that 13,300. So when I said I can guarantee you 5,000, when I look at my insights, I can see that some particular posts would have as much as like 11,000 views. It means that at least 5,000 people will see your handle by a flash. That is what I positioned for my resellers. I'm just using my example to answer some questions that may be on your mind at the moment. So the wrong market, there's something I wrote down here and I'm going to read it. The wrong marketing strategy, right, means wrong target market, wrong positioning, and wrong target competitor. And a wrong strategy, even with a great advertising tool, great advertising budget, great sales strategy like Mr. Ayo was sharing, great distribution channels or great pricing, would always at some point lead to failed product or service. So you need your marketing strategy to be in top shape. How do you manage perceived value? We're about to round up. How do you manage perceived value? Marketing is perceived value. Who said I must sell the book for 2,300? Perception. Perception. So I looked at the base price that I wanted to charge for the book. I knew that that would be my pre-order price and my reselling price. Then I did the markup. Perception. So to manage perceived value, which is what marketing is all about. So I'm saying to you, oh, buy this book for 2,300 Naira. It's money that you can use in a minute, but buy it and buy inspiration. So to manage perceived value, you must understand your competitive environment. I didn't just go to, do a pocket-sized book and price it for 10,000 Naira. How many people really would buy, no matter how much they want to buy inspiration, no matter how tired they are and need some form of encouragement? You also need to know your target market. You also need to build a strong brand, and then you'll need to satisfy your customers. So a good marketing strategy would coordinate all of these things. It has to look at your goal, at your organizational goal. You can't be doing marketing that is not in tandem with your objectives. Developing a good marketing strategy will cost you time, will cost you some form of resource, but then it will be worth it in the long run. You would have a strategy that will show you what channels, where are your customers really. So a good marketing strategy, and I'll round up here, would have to consist of your target market, specific target market, right target market, your business objectives, where do you want to be, your vision, positioning of your product or your service, and then the program. So the program will be the tactics, the how you intend to achieve it. Thank you so much for sharing your time with I am Mr. Ayo. So Mr. Ayo, the sales guy, is still here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. I truly appreciate it. You know my email address. I'll put it up in the public chat as well. Send me a mail. What do you think about today's webinar? What do you think about it? Did it get you to think about your marketing? Did it get you to look at your product again? Did it get you to look at your service again? And when we're talking about product, service, branding, positioning, marketing, you as the business owner also need to market yourself. Someone was saying to me yesterday or 2 days ago, you seem to have outgrown your business brand. I don't know if that's true, but what I've tried to do is have a personal brand, and the personal brand that has written the book. The book is not written by Bubes Foods. So I'm using my personal brand to go into speaking engagements as a speaker, and then my business brand, the marketing strategy, sells my path. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. If you're watching the replay, thank you also for spending time with me and with us. See you next time.